Morning, this is Sergey DRATCHEV from Lyman, Colorado. It's day 7 of my trip from British Columbia to Houston, and it's 22nd of February.
Attention professional drivers.
And
Driver number 109
I'm still in Lyman.
is now available.
Yeah, sitting inside a TA truck stop. I went to spend the night at the hotel. Went to my truck.
Attention professional drivers. Driver number 109 shower 6 is now available.
Got up at 6:30, went to my truck, and there was like -9 Celsius or 15 Fahrenheit, and the truck barely started. It's a good thing that I put in that fuel, anti-gel additive in the tanks, and I had the truck running for at least half an hour just to make it all mix. And the one thing I do when it's cold, I drain a little bit of air and water from my primary fuel filter. I have one of those like fuel filters on top near the windshield, and there's a little tap, and if you open it, there's always some air and some water that can escape. So if you leave it in there overnight, then you might not start the truck in the morning, especially if you have water in there, because the water freezes up, because that thing sits right there in the open, just under the hood, and it's easy for the cold to get to it. Anyway, so the truck barely started, and then I look at my battery gauge, voltage, and it's below 12. And even when the truck started, the needle did not move. So I knew right away that something was wrong, because it's supposed to be like, between 13 and 14 on the gauge. Oh damn! So I opened the hood, and sure enough, the alternator belt just hangs there loose. And thankfully there's a shop here. I don't carry those belts, but I noticed that every year probably I lose a belt, and no one could figure out why. Like everything else, everything was fine in the engine. But now I need to get moving. I have 1,000 miles to go to Houston, Texas. So I went to the shop and asked them if they had this belt in stock. Of course they didn't, otherwise it would be too easy. But they said they can order it from Napa, because that seems like a Napa part. But Napa opens like at 8 o'clock local time, and this was like 7:30. But anyway, they told me to bring the truck around. So I brought it inside, and the guy opened the hood and he looked at it, and he says the bearings in your alternator are very hard to turn, and everything else was fine. And I said, is there anything we can do about it? Maybe grease them somehow? I don't know, I'm not a rocket scientist, right? Just a guy with a camera and a steering wheel in his hands. So the mechanic says, no, you basically have to replace the alternator if you want. So, and this was a long trip. I already used up all my cash advance. So I go to the front desk and ask the guy, so how much is the alternator? Just in case, maybe I'll call Landstar and get some kind of a, repair, advance. And the guy says, well, it depends. They can be anywhere from $120 to $600. I said, well, how much is it for my truck? And I already knew the answer, so he sent the mechanic to check the number, serial number and make. And the mechanic came back, and this guy looked it up on his super powerful supercomputer. I think I saw the sticker. Never mind. So anyway, so he checks the pricing, and of course it's not $120, it's not $200, it's not even $300. It's like $460 with labor, $461 to put it in. So what do you do? I don't want to get stuck somewhere there in the snow if this thing happens again, because if I can just replace the belt, it can break. You never know, maybe before I reach Houston, right? So I called Landstar, and they approved me I said, give me $500. So they gave me the money and put it on my card. And now I'm just sitting here waiting for them to call me. They already put the alternator in, they were just waiting for that stupid belt to arrive from Napa somewhere here in town. But also I checked the website of Kansas DOT. It's 511ksdot.com, and it shows you the maps, you know, like which roads are closed. And I saw they actually reopened the I-70 late yesterday, like yesterday night, and I double checked now, and they show the roads are covered in snow, but they're open. And I tried calling any like inspection stations in Kansas, no one is picking up the phone. And I already had the phone number for this scale that yesterday turned me back. I called them and they confirmed that yeah, in Colorado here they're letting oversized loads go. And from here it's 80 miles to the border with Kansas on I-70 East. So I have no idea what's going to happen in Kansas, because my permit doesn't mention snow or rain specifically, but it does say weather permitting. So I don't know, maybe they'll say I'm not supposed to drive on snow either, because I checked even like camera images there. You know, online you can see pictures of what I-70 looks like in Kansas, and there's lots of snow on the ground. There's like 2 narrow tracks where trucks travel, and the rest is snow. Like, unbelievable for an interstate to look like that. Basically, the interstate looks like a country road. So we'll see what happens. I have to start moving, because this load is supposed to be in Houston on Monday, and I'm still okay. I'm still like, I have 1 extra day like to spare, and the agent said they cannot unload me on the weekend. So you know, it's a unionized workers, so it's either Friday or Monday, and I'm okay with that. So